So yeah, we're just trying to stand in the dry outside of Villa Park. Thunder and lightning, storm clouds are gathering over Villa Park, and it's fair to say storm clouds are definitely gathering. Well done, mate. Storm clouds are definitely gathering over Molineux and probably over Gary O'Neill, Kaffer.
Well, it's that one winning 15 in the Premier League. 1-0 up at half time, bossing the match. Come out in the second half with a complete negative attitude. It's like we've won this 1-0. We're never going to win 1-0, are we, at Villa Park? They're going to get a chance. They're probably going to score one of them. They get 2 or 3 chances. So we need to be a bit more adventurous and we need to be a bit fitter. I don't think we're fit enough.
70 minutes again.
Yeah, 70 minutes. We're on our last legs, aren't we?
Yeah. Paul, I'll go to you first then, Monster. You've sort of got some thoughts on this, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, trying to focus on the positives, really, I suppose. The first half performance. We've struggled defensively, haven't we, this season, but in the first half, that was a real strength. We gave them nothing. No opportunities, no set pieces, no chances. And probably, if anything, we're a bit disappointed we weren't 2-0 up, maybe at half-time. And it all changed with the mentality shift for me in the second half.
Absolutely. We're going to talk more about that. Monster, great to have you with us today. I mean, come on. Your thoughts? How are you feeling after that?
Just deflated, I think there's a worrying pattern emerging. I think we play well in spells in the game. I mean, that first half was probably one of the better halves we've had all season. Made a good side look really average, not conceded any chances, looked really in control. Probably could have got a second. Second half, just complete polar opposite. You knew they were going to come out and do something different second half. You knew they were going to have a spell in the game, and we just seemed to retreat. And Paul said to me, if they get 1, they'll get 2, and they got 3, didn't they? So it's not a surprise, is it? There's a worrying pattern. We get to 70 minutes, we look out on our legs, and how can you play that well for such a long time and not be picking up the points? As I say, it's a worrying trend that's starting to
There's got to be a reason for it, hasn't there?
Well, there has.
It just doesn't happen. There's got to be a reason for it. And is that reason that they're not fit enough and they don't believe in what they're doing?
Well, we're going to dive into that because we have got someone who works in psychology alongside us, who might be able to give us some insight onto that. Look, at the end of the day, we've come to Villa Park. I've said all along, you got to, they've done amazing, Villa. And before we go on any further, I do want to say absolutely fantastic tribute to Gary Shaw from all ends of the ground, the Wolves fans, the Villa fans, and I'm sure the Villa fans appreciate that. Absolute Villa legend, and that was well respected by everyone. But honestly, in the first half, there was literally only one team in it, and I think most Villa fans will come on here and say you're probably lucky not to be 2 or 3 down. Wolves were absolutely dominant. We were controlling the game. We were on the front foot. We were creating opportunities. Villa, we were defending for the lives. We were breaking the lines. We scored a great goal from Cunha after a turnover. We had a brilliant chance from Ryan Aït-Nouri from inside the 6-yard box, who mishits it, still nearly scores. They're scrambling away. We don't get the second goal. And like I said at half-time on my match vlog, it's like, let's hope that doesn't cost us again, because we've been talking about this in the build-up to this game, about not killing games off when we're on top. And it's happened again. Now, the big question that I want to ask is, how can we be two different teams in the second half? Is that a mentality issue, Paul? Is it instruction from Gary O'Neill? Because the last 2 or 3 minutes of the first half, when we had the ball in control, we were just keeping the ball and playing for half time. We never pushed for a second goal. That last 2 or 3 minutes, and the second, we got further and further back. It felt like Newcastle. The first goal, actually, I think Johnston probably would have saved it, but he took a deflection as Dawson's tried to tackle and knocked it over him, and then we fell apart. The second goal, there's loads of times when they've had corners at the back post, been a free man. There was a free man again, and he puts it in. And then the third goal, we've just took apart because we're all over the place. We fell apart. The shape's gone. You can't say they weren't fighting and they weren't trying, but the organisation definitely went. Paul, what's your thoughts? Is it the manager's fault? Is it mentality? Is it a combination of both? Because as Gary O'Neill told us to sit back and play completely different in the second half, fair play to Villa for changing it, but our mentality seemed to change.
We don't know that for sure, but from the outside looking in, that's what you might come to judge, because it was the same 11 players from us. playing against the same shape from them. I know they made 2 like-for-like changes in terms of personnel. So it must be an instruction to play 10 yards deeper, and there's a real lack of ambition to go and kill the game, wasn't there? Our strength as a team right now is not keeping a clean sheet. So why did we think we could fall back on that in the second half and everything would be okay? Our strength probably is players like Cunha going forwards. So why not use that more and try and kill the game off? So maybe fitness is a factor as well, but for me, mentality and this lack of belief that we could go out and kill the game off probably killed us today.
Again, would you concur with that?
Yeah, I mean, first half, Cunha's pretty much running the show, isn't he? Teams are going to change that. Good teams, people like Emery, they're going to change that. They're going to try and nullify Cunha, and that's what happened second half. He didn't have a kick read, did he? But they haven't had a shot until the 75th minute, and they've then gone on and won the game comfortably. And I think we seem to be outwitted tactically at the moment. These good teams are making these little tweaks, and we don't seem to respond to that in the game.
Is that the manager's fault?
I don't think it's just the manager; it's the coaching staff, though, isn't it? As a collective, they don't. It's not just him. They do it. You can see them on the bench, don't they? They seem to put a lot of thought into what they do, but we're not reacting in the game. We start well, and we're not reacting in the game to the changes that are being made by different teams, and it's so frustrating because you feel like you're doing well for a long time, and. How have we let that game again? Same as Newcastle last week. How have we let that get away from us when we're playing so well?
Oh, mate, I mean...
I don't know whether Aston Villa did nullify Cunha. I think we nullified him ourselves.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
agree? Yeah.
I don't think they did anything different to stop him playing. I think we stopped him having the ball and using him in attacking positions. And it's a shame because we've got one of the best players we've ever had. And he's going to get brassed off with losing every week, isn't he?
Well, to be honest, they all are. You could see their body language at the end. It's like, it's another loss. We just have a losing mentality. The players, I don't know what it is because we were so good in the first half. We absolutely destroyed Villa in the first half. And the second half, we destroyed ourselves because we didn't have the belief. And you said this, have we got a small club mentality under this leadership at the moment? Paul mentioned this. Villa act like a big club on and off the field. You have to give them credit. We were in front of them 2 or 3 years ago. The owners have had a plan. They've invested. They're growing. They've got into Champions League. They've got a big club mentality. And it feels like we have a small club mentality at the moment, Paul.
I don't know what to say other than what you've said. The way that we came out in the second half appears that way, like we're a small team coming to a big team and we're just going to do our best to cling on rather than take the game to them and make them worry about us like we did in the first half. So, yeah, that's the only thing I can add to that, really.
We have signed 2 cracking players this summer.
We have?
That Andre, he could play for anybody in the Premier League, couldn't he? He's quality. And Strand Larsen's getting better and better every week, isn't he? And I think playing Liverpool next week is a good thing.
You do?
I think we've got to raise our game now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Everybody in the club has got to win their own individual battles on the pitch. Why not go out and play Liverpool next week and beat them and set our season going?
Well, I said that about Newcastle last week, and I said it about Villa this week, and now we got Newcastle. First of all, I do one thing before we get on to our man of the match and everything. Yerson Mosquera, I'm absolutely gutted for him. I'm gutted for him because he cleared one off the line just before as well. He was magnificent. He's been stretchered off today. And another thing that's really niggling away at me is the recruitment in terms of the defensive areas. Totti's been injured. Dawson's coming back from a groin injury. Now Yerson could be out, and we needed that extra depth in centre of defence. And it could be like last year with the forwards if we're not careful. I hope it's not too bad. We're going to go for you anyway. Your LEAMORE Windows man of the match, and your Fox at Shipley performance, and your Parkside dental care moment that made you smile.
Man of the match, I think it's going to have to be Cunha for his first half performance, and he's attacking the ball and taking the ball to Villa. What's next?
It's your performance rating.
Performance rating, probably 7.5, 8 in the first half, and 3 or 4 in the second half.
Overall,
5.
a solid 5. And what made you smile today, mate?
When we scored.
When we scored.
Always when we score.
Always when we scored. Monster, okay. LEAMORE Windows Man of the Match. Fox at Shipley performance rating. Parkside dental moment that made you smile. Other than seeing me.
Obviously. Dawson, I thought, was man of the match.
Yeah.
I thought he was a rock. And I think he makes everybody else do better things around him as well. He seems to talk everybody through the game. So I think Dawson, man of the match. Performance, similar to Gaffer, really. First half was a lot better than the second. But overall, I think you've got to say a 6.
Yeah.
Moment to smile, other than the goal. I do like a Ryan 8 Nori nutmeg. So, I quite enjoyed that.
Nice one. And finally to you, Paul.
Yeah, both lads have said stuff I agree with. I'm going to go Andre, though, probably man of the match. Thought he was very tidy. Didn't give the ball away again. I think he's been a great addition. First half, actually, you probably could stretch it to a 9 in terms of performance rating because we were really tight at the back as well. Looked dangerous going forwards. But overall, probably, I'll give it a generous 6. Moment that made me smile. Great goal. We're starting to shoot a bit more from the edge of the box and around that area, and it's paying dividends.
Fantastic. Look, moment that made me smile for me was obviously that wonderful goal. I'm going to give that. It was a great goal, great finish from Cunha. He always plays with a smile on his face. We're not smiling at the moment. Getting out the rain also made me smile just before we came on. Look, my LEAMORE Windows Man of the Match. I'm gonna arguments for Cunha and Dawson, but I agree with Paul. I thought Andre is just out of this world. He was pulling the strings, and they were letting him do it. He was telling people where to go, what to do. He was just so in control. And I'm really angry, actually. I mean, I'm quite a supporter of like Gary O'Neill and being patient and stuff like that, but I'm angry. I'm angry that the managers took him in at half time and we sent him out like that in the second half, and it has to come from him. And I'm not saying that Gary O'Neill's got to go or anything. I know a lot of people are saying that, but you've got to change your mentality. We need to be on the front foot, and we just sat, and you just let it happen again. And it's just, we can't keep making these excuses week in, week out.
It's almost like there's a pre-script, isn't there, for the match. We play in the first half, we go 1-0 up, they equalise, they get another one, and we drop off and they get another one.
It's like Groundhog Day.
It's like you could write the book, couldn't you?
It's Groundhog Day. We're stuck in this loop. We've got to find a way out of it, and I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. If you're a Villa fan, I'm sure you're enjoying this video. Fair play to you. You can't knock Villa, You're a very, very good side, and you look like a side that believed, even when they're behind, they were going to win the game. But we let them off the hook again, like we did in so many times. Yeah, no, maybe. Early days yet, though. Look, my performance rating, my LEAMORE Windows, my Fox at Shipley performance rating. I'm going to agree with Paul. First half, it was apart from not getting the second goal, we were absolutely dominant. We were so much better. You would have thought we were the Champions League team, and they were like a Championship team. So I'm going to give it a 9. But the second half, it's not good enough. I'm angry. I'm really, really angry about it. It's a 1. It's an absolute 1. We cannot capitulate like we've done, and I'm angry about that. So overall, I can only give it a 5. We've got to sort it out,
Also, not in any way has this been the reason for us losing, but that was one of the worst officiating performances. And the linesman, how you can have identical situations.
The yellow cards, yeah.
Have a yellow card, and then the same thing happen again, and no yellow card. I mean, again, that isn't the reason we've lost by any stretch. But all you expect is a consistency in the refereeing and a level playing field, and that was absolutely abysmal today from the referee and the linesman. It was terrible.
I have to agree with that.
Shocking display by Tim Robinson.
Yeah,
As a Premier League referee, I'll eat grass.
Yeah, it is fair enough because there was cards that should have come for Wolves. But at the end of the day, look, fair play to Villa. We tip our cap to you. You're doing brilliant. Fair play to you. Can't knock it out. And obviously, we pay our respects, of course, to Gary Shaw, and we felt that with you today. So hopefully, you guys as Villa fans will respect the Wolves fans did pay respects to Gary Shaw. We've lost the game 3-1. It's not good. We need to find ways to win matches very, very soon, or we will be in a lot of trouble.
Bring on Liverpool, mate.
Yeah, we've only got Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool next week. Yeah, no problem. Until the next one, from myself, Gaffer, Dr. Paul, and the man himself, Monster. We could put you at the back actually. You're not, but you're not. He's actually not bad at the. He's not bad at the back. And until the next one from all of us, always Wolves.
Always Wolves.